The human ship drifted in the dark sea of space. Its lights were dim, its engines silent, and its walls cold. The crew was gone. Some had escaped, others had died. Now only one woman and her small child remained inside. The mother sat close to the child, her arms wrapped around him, trying to give him warmth that the ship no longer had. His breathing was weak, shallow, and uneven. His small chest rose and fell like a candle flame about to die. The sound of his breath was the only sign of life in the silent, broken ship. Her name was Mara. She had been a mother for only 6 years, but in those 6 years, she had learned the weight of love. Love was not soft or easy. It was heavy. It was sharp. It was something that could break a person in silence. She had seen her child grow from a tiny baby to a boy who asked endless questions. Why is the sky blue? Why do stars shine? Why are we alone in the dark? She always had answers, but now when he asked, "Mother, will I be okay?" she could not answer. Her throat closed every time the words rose. The ship's stores were empty. Food was gone. Medicine was gone. She had used the last injection of antibiotics 2 days ago. It had slowed the fever, but not stopped it. The boy's body still burned like fire from the inside. His skin was hot under her hand, yet his lips were pale. Mara whispered, "Please, hold on. Please, don't leave me." But the child's eyes closed again, too tired to stay open. She pressed her forehead against the cold wall of the ship. She wanted to scream, but the emptiness around her swallowed every sound. Space did not care. Stars did not care. And yet she would not give up. She could not. A mother never stops fighting for her child. Then something broke the silence. A sound. Not from the ship. A signal. The old communication system blinked with sudden life. A strange voice filled the cabin, metallic and sharp. It was not human. The words were heavy, broken, but still clear. Human ship. Detected. Identify. Respond. Mara's heart froze. Aliens. She had heard stories. Some said the aliens were hunters who took humans as trophies. Others said they were traders who saw no difference between life and objects. None of the stories ended with mercy. Her first instinct was fear. Her second was hope. If they had the power to travel the stars, they might have medicine. They might have the means to save her child. But what would they want in return? The voice repeated, louder this time. Human ship, identify, respond. Her hands shook as she reached for the console. Her voice cracked, but she forced the words out. This is Mara, civilian ship. My child is sick, please, help us." There was silence. Her child coughed weakly, the sound like knives cutting her heart. She held him tighter, her voice breaking. "He will die. Please, I will give you anything. Anything. Just save him." The silence stretched long, like a shadow with no end. She wondered if they had already left, if her words had been thrown into nothing. Then the reply came. "We trade. We do not give." "What do you offer?" Mara's eyes filled with tears. What could she offer? She had no gold, no food, no fuel. Only herself. Her voice was low but steady. "Take me, take my life. Take everything I am. Just save my child." The line went silent again. On the other side, voices whispered in a language she could not understand. The sound was strange, layered as if many throats spoke at once. Finally, the metallic voice returned. "We accept. Prepare for boarding." Mara looked down at her child. His face was soft, almost peaceful now, as if he was dreaming. She kissed his forehead, her lips trembling against his burning skin. Her heart was heavy, but her eyes were fierce. She had made her choice. In the endless dark of space, a desperate mother had given her offer. She did not know what would come. She did not know if the aliens would keep their word. She did not know if she would live to see another sunrise. But she knew one thing with perfect clarity. She would give up everything, even her own soul, if it meant her child would live, and somewhere beyond the stars. The aliens listened. They did not yet understand what the human had given them. But soon they would. The ship groaned as something massive locked onto it. The walls shook, dust fell from broken panels, and Mara held her son tighter. For a moment she thought the hull would crack open and the void would swallow them whole. Then there was silence, a hiss of air, a sound of metal grinding. The doors at the far end of the cabin slowly split open. They were here. Shapes moved in the mist of the airlock. Shadows tall and thin, with too many joints in their bodies like living sculptures pulled into strange angles. Their steps were heavy but slow, as if they were careful not to break the fragile floor. Mara's breath caught in her throat. These were not the creatures from human stories. They were stranger. Their heads were long, their eyes dark pools without whites. Their skin was pale like stone, but it shimmered faintly, as if it was alive with hidden lights. The tallest one stopped in front of her. It tilted its head to study her the way a scientist might study an insect. Its mouth did not move, yet its voice entered the air, metallic and cold. The human, who made the offer. Mara forced herself to stand, though her legs trembled. She placed herself between them and her son. Yes, it was me. Save him, please. The alien bent closer. Its black eyes reflected her face back at her, small and weak in their endless depths. Then it looked down at the child who coughed weakly in his sleep. Another alien stepped forward carrying a device that glowed with a pale green light. It looked like a cube, but it pulsed as if it had veins. Strange symbols shifted across its surface. The tallest alien spoke again. We will heal. But trade must be complete. Mara's throat went dry. She had already given her promise. She had nothing else. Slowly she nodded. Take whatever you want from me. Just let him live. The aliens did not answer. Instead, the one with the device knelt beside the child. The cube opened like a flower, unfolding petals of light. A thin beam scanned the boy from head to toe. His small body shivered, then stilled. Mara nearly cried out, but the alien lifted a long hand, signaling silence. The green light spread over the child's chest, sinking into his skin. His breathing steadied. His color returned. Mara's heart pounded. It was working. They were saving him. She reached forward, but the tall alien blocked her with an arm like iron. Not yet. He must finish cycle. She froze, helpless, watching the strange light move across her son. His eyelids fluttered. His lips twitched. Then, for the first time in days, his chest rose with strong, steady breaths. Her eyes filled with tears. Relief poured through her body, but it was mixed with fear. What price would they demand now? The tallest alien leaned closer, its face only inches from hers. Its voice hummed inside her skull. Why? She blinked. Why what? Why give yourself? Why not let the small one end? He is weak, you are strong. Why choose loss for survival of another? Mara stared at it, shocked by the question. It was as if they truly could not understand. She whispered, because he is my child. His life is worth more than mine. The aliens exchanged looks, silent, their dark eyes flashing with faint light. Their bodies shifted in strange ripples as if the words had shaken them. One muttered in their own tongue, a chorus of layered voices. Another replied sharply. They argued in sounds too alien to follow. Mara held her ground, clutching her chest as if to steady her heart. She had no weapons, no power, but she had the truth. Finally, the tallest one spoke again. We have taken prey. We have taken slaves. We have taken resources. But never this. Its voice grew quieter, almost curious. You offer yourself not for gain, not for power, but for... What is the word? Love? The word was heavy in its mouth, strange and unfamiliar. Mara nodded, tears still shining in her eyes. Yes, love. The aliens went silent again. The cube closed, its light dimming. The child stirred, then opened his eyes, clear and bright. He coughed once, then whispered, Mama. Mara fell to her knees, pulling him close. She kissed his hair, her body shaking with relief. But even in that joy, she felt the weight of their stares. The aliens were not finished. They had not taken her yet, and worse, she realized with a shiver, they had found something in her they did not understand. Something dangerous. They had come to heal a child, but in her sacrifice they had discovered a secret that might change everything. The boy slept peacefully now, his chest rising and falling with steady breath. His fever was gone. His skin was no longer pale but warm with life. Mara brushed her hand across his cheek, tears still wet on her face. But the room was not filled with joy. It was filled with silence. Heavy silence. The aliens stood around her, their dark eyes fixed on her as if she were no longer a mother, but a puzzle that refused to be solved. The tall alien who had spoken before leaned closer, its shadow covering her and the child. Its voice hummed through the air like metal grinding on stone. The child is healed. The trade is due. Mara swallowed. She had already promised. Her body trembled, but her voice did not. Take me. That was the bargain. The alien tilted its head, Its strange, jointed neck moved too far, unnatural. Its black eyes reflected her face, showing her fear, her tears, her weakness, and yet it studied her as if she were strong. Explain. She blinked. What do you mean? You say, take you. Trade you, why? What value is your life to give? We do not see. Mara's heart pounded. Because he is my child. My life for his. That was my choice, the alien's voice lowered, almost curious. We have taken slaves. We have taken flesh. We have taken worlds. Always for gain. Always for survival, but you give without gain. This does not calculate. The other aliens began to circle her, their bodies tall, their steps slow like predators but also like scholars. They whispered in their layered voices. Strange words that made the air vibrate. One pressed its long fingers to the wall, leaving behind glowing lines as if writing symbols. Another bent close to the child, its black eyes wide, reflecting the tiny boy who slept unknowing of the storm around him. Mara's breath caught. She wanted to shield him, but she forced herself to stay still. Fear could not win now. Finally, the tall alien extended a hand, long and pale, each finger like a blade. Its voice filled the room again. We will not take your life. Not yet, we will take knowledge, her brow furrowed. Knowledge? We must see. We must understand. This thing you call love. Before she could speak, another alien brought a machine forward. It looked like a crown made of metal wires, alive with blue sparks. Mara's body froze. What is that? The tall alien answered simply. The bargain. She realized with a sinking heart that this was not about her body. They wanted her mind. They wanted to open it, to take from it what they could not understand. She glanced at her child. His small hand rested on her arm even in his sleep. Her chest ached. She had promised herself she would give anything. And now she must. Her voice was steady but soft. If this is the price, then do it. The aliens moved closer. Two of them lifted the crown. Sparks of energy crawled across its metal wires, humming with a sound that was almost alive. They lowered it toward her head. Mara closed her eyes. The moment it touched her, fire raced through her skull. Images flashed, her child's first cry, his laughter. The nights she held him close when storms shook their colony. The mornings he asked endless questions. The afternoons when his small hand reached for hers. Every memory was pulled from her heart and laid bare. The aliens gasped. For the first time, their cold voices trembled. They saw what she saw. They felt what she felt. Her love poured into them like a flood. They staggered back, their dark eyes flashing with new light. Their bodies shook with sounds that were not words but echoes of something deeper. The tall alien gripped the wall, its voice broken. This is not weakness. This is not survival. This is something else. Another whispered, almost in awe. It gives strength. It gives fire. It gives more. They argued again, voices sharp and chaotic. Some hissed that this was dangerous, that such feelings could break their order. Others cried that it was power greater than fear, greater than hunger. Mara, her head still burning from the machine, whispered through the pain. Now you understand. Love is the only thing worth giving, even if it costs everything. Her words echoed in the chamber. The aliens fell silent. At last, the tall one straightened, its body rigid, its black eyes still glowing faintly with the light of her memories. The trade is complete, it said, but its voice no longer carried the same coldness. Mara collapsed to her knees, holding her child close. Relief and dread mixed in her chest. She had saved him. Yes. But in doing so, she had given the aliens more than her life. She had given them love. And in their empire, love was something dangerous. The crown of wires lifted from Mara's head with a hiss. Smoke curled from its edges and her skin tingled where the sparks had touched. She gasped for air, her heart pounding as though she had run for miles. Her son stirred in his sleep, but his breaths were strong now, steady. The fever was gone. He was safe. For a moment, joy filled her chest. But then she saw the aliens. They were not the same. Their dark eyes glowed faintly with colors that had not been there before. Blue, green, even gold flickered in their depths like hidden stars. Their thin bodies trembled, their mouths clicking in low sounds that were not words but confusion. The tall leader pressed a long hand against the wall, its claws digging shallow marks into the metal. Its voice shook with something new. We saw it. We felt it, the others hissed back, their layered voices clashing like waves against stone. It is dangerous. It cannot be controlled. It gives them strength we do not understand. Mara held her child close, watching the storm she had unleashed. She had not meant to change them. She had only wanted to save him. But now something much greater had happened. The leader's voice rose above the others. No, it is not danger, it is gift. The chamber fell silent. Every alien turned toward him, their black eyes alive with color. One hissed sharply. A gift that will destroy us. Their weakness spreads like fire. It will break our empire. But another stepped forward, its body trembling, its voice unsteady. No, it is not weakness. It is strength we never knew. It is more than survival. It is more than fear. The whispers grew louder, splitting the group in two, half hissed with fear, half murmured with awe. Mara realized then they were no longer united. Her love had divided them. The tall leader turned back to her. Human, you gave us what we did not expect. You gave more than trade. You gave us love. The word was strange in its mouth, heavy, uncertain, but it carried weight. Mara's voice was tired but steady. You asked for a bargain. You wanted to understand. Now you know. The leader's head tilted, but we do not know what to do with it. Her arms tightened around her son. That is not mine to decide. For a long moment no one spoke. The only sound was the quiet hum of the alien machines and the soft breathing of her boy. Then suddenly, one alien slammed its claw into the wall. Sparks flew. Its voice screeched through the chamber. End her. End them both, before this poison spreads. Mara froze, her arms wrapping tighter around her child. Her heart thundered in her chest. But before the soldier could move, the tall leader raised its arm. The motion was slow but filled with power. No. The word echoed like thunder. The soldier stopped, trembling with rage, but it obeyed. The leader stepped closer to Mara. For the first time, its face was not cold stone. Its dark eyes shone with something almost human. Curiosity, wonder, even gentleness. We healed the child. The trade is complete. You may go. Mara blinked in shock. She had not expected mercy. She had been ready to give her life. But they were releasing her. Still, she did not trust it. Why? Why let us go? The leader's voice lowered. Because what you gave cannot be kept. It cannot be taken. It grows only when it is given freely. To cage you would kill it. To set you free. We'll let it spread. Mara's blood ran cold. She realized then that her love had not just saved her child. It had planted a seed in the hearts of creatures who had never known it. A seed that could grow in ways no one could predict. The aliens stepped back. A path opened through their ranks. The leader gestured with one long arm. Leave. But know this, human, you have changed us. We will not forget. Mara gathered her child in her arms and rose to her feet. Her legs trembled, but her steps were steady as she walked past them. Their black eyes followed her, glowing faintly with stolen memories of her love. As she crossed the threshold, she looked back one last time. The leader stood tall, his eyes shining brighter than the rest. He spoke a final word, soft but heavy. This is more than we dreamed. The airlock closed behind her. Back inside her broken ship, Mara held her son close. He whispered weakly, Mama? She kissed his forehead. I'm here, always. But deep inside, fear stirred. She had given them love. And love could save or destroy. The airlock sealed behind Mara with a heavy clang. She leaned against the cold wall of her broken ship, her son safe in her arms. Relief washed over her like a wave, but it carried fear within it. The aliens had healed him, yes, but they had also taken something far greater. They had taken love. Inside their vessel, the debate had already begun. The tall leader, whose eyes now shimmered with faint colors, stood in silence as his people hissed and argued. Their layered voices filled the chamber, sharp and heavy. It is dangerous, one cried, its claws scraping the wall. It spreads without limit. It gives them strength beyond reason. If this love infects us, we will no longer obey the old order. Others countered, their tones filled with something new, hesitation, almost wonder. We felt it. It was powerful. It gave purpose, not just survival. Perhaps this is why humans endure even when weaker than us. The chamber shook with their division. Some trembled in fear of change. Others burned with curiosity. The tall leader finally raised a hand and silence fell. His black eyes glowed faintly gold now, touched by the mother's memories. His voice was steady, But inside, even he trembled. We have conquered worlds. We have ruled with fear. We believed strength was survival. Yet this human gave something we cannot measure, something we could not take by force. He paused, remembering the warmth he had felt when the crown showed him the mother's love, the nights she had gone hungry so her child could eat, the tears she shed in silence so he would never see her pain. It had shaken him more than any weapon. Love, he whispered, the strange word heavy in his mouth. It is more than strength. It is more than fear, his people hissed. Some recoiled. No, it will make us weak. It will unmake the empire. We must end the humans now before this spreads. But others whispered with awe. What if it makes us stronger? What if it gives us reason beyond survival? What if it is the power we always lacked? The leader's eyes narrowed. He could feel the cracks spreading through his people. For the first time in centuries, they were not one mind, and it all came from one desperate mother. Meanwhile, Mara sat inside her silent ship, holding her child as he slept. She did not know the storm she had caused. She only knew she was still alive, and so was he. But a question haunted her. Why did they let me go? The aliens were not known for mercy. They had no reason to spare her, unless it was not mercy at all. Perhaps they had let her go so they could watch what would happen next. She kissed her son's forehead, whispering softly, I gave them too much. Back on the alien ship, the arguments grew louder. The voices of fear clashed with the voices of wonder until the air itself seemed to tremble. Then, the leader spoke again, his tone sharp, commanding. Enough. Do you not see? This is no weakness. It is a weapon. Stronger than fear. Stronger than chains. If humans would give their very lives for others, what will they give for their world? For their people? Silence fell. His words struck them like fire. If we can wield this, if we can understand it, our empire will be unstoppable. Some nodded, their eyes flickering with stolen color. Others recoiled, their bodies stiff with horror. No, you cannot shape this thing. It will shape us instead. The leader's voice deepened, rumbling like thunder. Then let it. Perhaps we must be remade. The chamber shook with his words. The empire that had lived on fear alone now trembled on the edge of something new. Far away, Mara whispered into the dark, unaware of their war. I only wanted to save you, she told her son. Her tears fell silently, but I may have changed everything. The child stirred, his small voice weak but sure. Mama, we'll be okay, right? She kissed his cheek, forcing a smile though fear clawed her heart. Yes, little star. We'll be okay. But deep inside she knew the truth. The aliens had taken more than she had given, and now they would never be the same. The alien vessel drifted through the black sea of space, but inside its halls were alive with chaos. Voices clashed, layered and sharp, echoing through the chambers. The bargain with the human mother had ended, but its echo remained like a wound that would not heal. The tall leader stood at the center of it all, his black eyes glowing faint gold, colors stolen from the woman's memories. Around him his people shouted in fear and fury. This must end, one cried, its claws scraping sparks across the wall. We cannot allow such weakness to exist. Her gift is poison. It will spread. Others answered back, their voices trembling but filled with awe. It is not poison, it is power. We felt it. It gave us more than survival, it gave us purpose. Perhaps we need this change. The chamber shook with the storm of their division. Their empire had always been united, one voice, one order. Now for the first time, cracks spread through their unity, all because of one desperate human mother. The leader raised his hand, demanding silence. His voice rumbled low, commanding. Enough! You fear what you do not understand. But we cannot deny what we have seen. This thing, love, it is real. It is powerful. A soldier hissed, its voice sharp as blades. Power for them, not us. If humans carry this strength, they will rise against us. They will fight with fire we cannot match. We must end them now before it spreads. Another stepped forward, trembling. No, if we destroy it, we destroy what may save us. We are strong but empty. We rule by fear, but fear fades. This love, it could make us more. The debate burned like fire, dividing them deeper. Some wanted to wipe humanity from the stars. Others wanted to learn from them, to take the gift of love as their own. The leader's eyes narrowed. Inside, he still felt the warmth he had stolen from Mara's mind. He remembered her sacrifice, her tears, her endless strength for her child. It haunted him, It changed him. If we kill them, he said slowly, we gain nothing. If we keep them, perhaps they will show us more. The chamber erupted again, some hissing in fury, others whispering with hunger for knowledge. For the first time in centuries, the empire was divided, and division was dangerous. Meanwhile, inside her broken ship, Mara watched her son sleep. His small chest rose and fell with steady breaths. His face was peaceful, his fever gone. She brushed her hand across his cheek and whispered, "You're safe now." But her words felt empty. Deep inside, she knew the truth. Safety was gone. She had changed the aliens, and change always came with a price. The ship's walls groaned, still caught in the grip of the alien vessel. She could feel their presence even though they had left her alone. She knew they were watching. Not with mercy, but with hunger. She had given them love, and now they wanted more. Her chest ached with fear. "What have I done?" she whispered to the silent stars. Back on the alien ship, the arguments turned violent. A soldier lunged at one of its own, claws flashing. Sparks burst as they struck against the walls. Another shoved it back, voices shrieking in layered tones. The chamber filled with chaos. The leader roared, his voice booming through the air like thunder. "Stop!" The soldiers froze, trembling. But the damage was done. Blood marked the floor, a wound within their unity. The leader's chest rose with slow, heavy breath. He looked at his people and spoke the truth none of them wanted to hear. "We are no longer the same. The human changed us. Some fear it, some hunger for it. This is the consequence of her gift." One soldier snarled, its eyes black as stone. "Then we must destroy her. Destroy them all. End the source before it ends us." But another whispered with trembling awe, "Or we must protect them. For they carry the fire we do not." The leader's gaze darkened. He knew this was no longer about one mother and her child. This was about the future of their empire. Love had entered their hearts, and now it would tear them apart. Mara held her son tighter as he stirred and whispered, "Mama." She kissed his forehead, whispering back, "I'm here. Always." But her eyes looked toward the alien vessel, glowing faintly in the dark outside her ship. She knew the truth. They had not saved her out of kindness. They had saved her because she had given them something more than life, and now they would never let it go. The human ship hung silent in the shadow of the alien vessel. Inside, Mara sat with her child in her arms. His fever was gone. His eyes, bright once more, stared up at her with innocence. For him, the danger was over. For her, the fear had only just begun. Outside, the aliens argued still, their voices shaking the walls of their own ship. Some wanted to destroy her, to end the threat before it spread. Others whispered of the gift she had given, the fire called love that burned brighter than fear. The tall leader stood alone, watching the stars through a wide window of black glass. His eyes glowed faint gold, still carrying the memories he had stolen from Mara's mind. He could feel her sacrifice inside him like a brand. He could feel the strength of it in every breath. His people pressed him for a decision. End her. Spare her. Destroy humanity. Protect them. Every voice pulled in opposite directions, their empire breaking apart from within. The leader raised his hand. Silence fell. His voice was slow, heavy, filled with weight. "The trade is complete. The human is free." The words echoed like thunder. The chamber shook with disbelief. "Free!" One soldier hissed, its claws flashing in rage. "She has cursed us with weakness." But another whispered in awe, "No, she has given us strength we never knew." The leader turned from the window. His black eyes glowed with colors like stars. His voice was final. "We will not end her. We will let her go. But we will not forget." Mara felt her ship shudder as the alien clamps released. The pressure on the hull eased, and for the first time in days she was free to move. Her son stirred in her arms, blinking up at her. "Mama, are we going home?" he asked softly. Her throat tightened. "Yes, little star. We're going home." But even as she said the words, she knew nothing would ever be the same. Her console flickered with life. A message from the alien vessel appeared in strange symbols that twisted and changed until they formed words she could read. "The human gave us more than we dreamed." Mara stared at the screen, her heart pounding. She did not reply. She had no words left to give. Instead, she held her son close, whispering into his hair, "Whatever comes, I will always protect you." Back on the alien ship, the division grew. Some soldiers gathered in secret, whispering that humanity must be destroyed before the infection of love spread further. Others began to question their own lives, wondering if fear had ever been true strength at all. The leader knew a storm was coming. Love had entered his people like a spark in dry grass. It could burn them down or light a path into something greater. He stood tall, his voice echoing through the chamber. The humans will rise. They will not fall to fear. We must choose. Destroy them, or walk beside them. This is the choice the mother gave us. But his people did not answer as one. Some hissed in fury. Others bowed their heads in silence. The empire was no longer whole. Mara's ship drifted free, carried slowly toward the nearest star system. The child slept peacefully in her arms, his small hand clutching her sleeve. She gazed out the window, her eyes fixed on the alien vessel shrinking into the distance. A chill ran down her spine. She had survived, yes. She had saved her child. But she had also changed something far greater than herself. She whispered into the silence of space, "What have I done?" Her words carried no answer, but somewhere inside the alien vessel, her love still echoed. It pulsed in the leader's mind, in the hearts of those who had felt it. It grew like a seed in the cracks of their empire. A single desperate offer had changed them. A single mother's sacrifice had given them something they had never known. And though Mara did not yet see it, her choice had already begun to shape the future of the galaxy. The child stirred in her arms, whispering softly, "Mama?" "Yes, my star," she whispered back, her tears falling quietly. "Are we safe now?" he asked. She closed her eyes, holding him tighter. For now. But deep inside, she knew the truth. Safety was gone. The aliens had tasted love, and they would never forget it. Some would fear it. Some would hunger for it. And one day it would return to her people, whether as salvation or destruction, because the human mother had given more than life. She had given them love, and love was the most dangerous gift of all.